Jimmy Carter! We're talking about Trump's plan to rename the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think you should go further. New Mexico, New America.
Why not?
We're gonna rename Greenland to Redland.
USA! 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 Why are you supporting Trump then if you're aware that the country would not function without?
Because the house is full.
Wait, what is happening? So these people had to ditch their bags to get into the Capital One Arena.
No, this is just, it's a liberal city.
That's what's happening in the liberal cities.
The migrants just come and they dump their bags right here.
And it goes for like a while. It's a lot of...
That's a lot of migrant crime.
Yeah, because everyone's like, I hope someone left their wallet in here.
Nice.
Not a bad...
Don't touch it, you'll get fentanyl. They left the Chips Ahoy.
They left so much.
Our government bought these snacks for the migrants and they just niche it here.
You know,
I'm
these
grateful.
people, you know, they come to this country to see Donald Trump and then they throw their garbage everywhere.
This is what they think DC is just like, and then they come in and they do it.
Yeah, they're like,
they do.
They're like, oh, these liberal cities are so dirty.
Disgusting
And then they
dirty.
come and just trash the place. Even though Trump is president.
No.
This is Joe Biden's America.
This was Obama.
This is right. This is Obama's America.
No. This was Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter! God damn you! How you doing? I like your hat. How you doing?
Good.
We were talking about Trump's plan to rename the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America.
Yes.
Wait,
On board?
Sure.
What
I
else
think-
do you want to rename? We've
I'm
got
not
some
for
ideas.
being renamed, but if you look at the history, when they named it the Gulf of Mexico, Mexico had a good portion of what is now the United States.
Yeah.
So to
Like
me,
New Mexico. Should be New America.
Yes.
Yes.
I know. Los Angeles, the Angeles.
okay, I got this.
Okay, Greenland, Redland. Louisiana.
Big River.
Thank you.
Good job.
Saved
America.
You excited?
Oh, I'm so excited. What is there not to be excited?
We're talking about the Trump's plan to rename the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America.
It's a Gulf of America?
Yeah. So
How do you feel about that?
If we're gonna do that, let's keep going. Greenland, Redland.
Oh, yeah.
Los Angeles, the
You
Angeles.
should run for president next time.
It-
You
it
have
did-
great ideas.
There you go. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. What do you think about the Angeles?
Los Angeles.
No, I think the Gulf of America is good.
Gulf of America, yeah. Los Angeles,
No, I think
the
it's going to be a
Angeles.
bigger problem though with the Panama Canal,
Well,
right?
what are we going to rename the Panama?
What are we going to rename the Panama Canal?
I think the Panama Canal is probably going to come back to.
What do you think about the Trump's plan to rename the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America?
We love it. Adorable. We love it.
We're also going to rename Los Angeles, the Angeles.
I actually ran for state representative last year.
Well, no, the Rio Grande. Let's name it Big River.
No, we're gonna rename Greenland to Redland.
Did you come out?
Redland.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Greenland to Redland.
My God. Woo. Trump. Greenland is going to be Redland. The Rio Grande would be Big River. And these stupid people that make maps. Well, fuck them, right? We're changing the name on a map. What's the big deal? How long do you think it's going to take for gas prices and the price of eggs to go down? Like a few days?
I give it a couple weeks.
USA! 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 How you doing, man? How you doing?
Good.
What do you think about Trump's plan to rename the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America?
I learned yesterday from Argentina.
What, you're from Argentina?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
We're Malay.
Malay, that's
Has
right.
he made Argentina great again?
Yeah, that's right.
But that's like, so he like cut a lot of social programs. 60% of the people are in poverty now.
Yeah, right.
What's going on?
It's a progress, you know? It's not something when
And he opened up a lot of the country to private investment, like public resources can now be bought by private investment. We're talking about Trump's plan to rename the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think you should go further. New Mexico, New America.
Why not? Why not?
Los Angeles, the Angeles.
Rio Grande, Big River.
Why not? All of those. All of the above. Just
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. Why stop with the Gulf of Mexico to a Gulf of America? Keep going.
Yeah, just keep Louisiana. It's named after a French king.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Why not?
Fucking
Should
ew.
be named after
Gross.
an American king. Donald Trump.
Well,
Fuck!
He's not a king. He's not a king.
What? How dare you?
He's not a king.
How dare you? You. Here's our king now. You son of a bitch! You take that back. So I love how like everyone's complaining about the price of eggs, but this year like Black Friday spending like broke records, like historic records.
Well, I need a new TV. I don't need to eat.
Yeah, they're like, who needs eggs when they're selling flat screens for $3.99? No one understands why flat screens are $3.99. They're like, well, with the tariffs, they'll be $2.99. We're talking about Trump's plan to rename the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America.
Oh, I mean, it is America's Gulf.
So you're into it.
Yeah, it's not Mexico.
I'm not against it, that's for sure.
I'm
Thank
against
you.
it.
Whoa. Whoa.
Hey.
You hate America?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
All right.
Let's keep it going. You know,
Sweden.
Sweden?
America too.
America too.
New Mexico is New America.
Yes.
I don't know about that one. That seems a little racy.
Racism doesn't exist. We elected Obama. Los Angeles, the Angeles.
The Angeles.
The Angeles. It's
There
kind of
we
like,
go.
you know, it's like the Facebook.
Yes.
Or just Angeles, you know, that's, you know, like remember when Justin Timberlake renamed it for like the Facebook? Yeah. Trump, what do you think about Trump renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America?
I saw that, and I literally think it's like just 100% ego out of him, to be honest. Like, what the hell's the point of it? What's the point of, you know, I mean, like, what are we doing here?
You don't like the renaming?
I mean, I just think, like, what's the point of it? Like, what purpose does it bring besides, like, oh.
Fun and joy.
I mean, it is funny. I think it's funny, but I think it's, like, mostly just Trump's ego.
Oh my God, Newsmax! They're so great! Newsmax, they're saving America! There are transgenders in the bathroom and Newsmax is gonna get them out! Keep doing the Lord's work. Thank you! Oh, Deutsche for Trump.
Yes, Germans for Trump. Yeah.
The Germans for Trump. That's
come out from
that's actually amazingly on brand.
From Germany to see Donald Trump.
Wow. How much does that trip cost?
Just 500 euros. It's like around 500 bucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how can Germany be more like Trump?
It's very difficult because we have many parties, and
Need one
so
party.
the people have the choice. To
What about
elect
the AFD?
Yes, AFD.
Yeah.
But the other politicians who are in the government, they fight against
The AFD.
the AFD, and the media, the German media, is responsible that so many people have don't think good things about
the AFD.
The AFD. Yeah.
What do they
They're
think?
negative.
Yeah, I mean, they think it's like, well, the AFD wants to deport everyone. The AFD, you know, wants
Yeah,
to
that's-
return to like, you know, a Christian country, and protect the nuclear family. Women should not be careerists. They should be at home tending to the kids.
Yeah. So.
Do we like Martin Luther King?
I mean, I just know what I know about him from school.
Do we like him though?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just reading Martin Luther King quotes. The evils of capitalism are as real as the evils of militarism and evils of racism. White Americans must recognize that justice for black people cannot be achieved without radical changes in the structure of our society. The comfortable, entrenched, the privileged cannot continue to tremble at the prospect of change of the status quo. What do we feel about that?
I don't know.
A riot is the language of the unheard.
Okay, that's cool.
You're prone to judge the success of your profession by the index of your salary and the size of the wheelbase in your automobile rather than the quality of your service to humanity. The misuse of capitalism can also lead to tragic exploitation.
Yeah, sounds true.
Yeah. Oh, and everybody is out here. This is the last one.
Okay.
Everybody is on welfare in this country. The problem is not that we all too often have socialism for the rich and rugged free enterprise capitalism for the poor. What do we think about that?
Says a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. We're talking about Martin Luther King.
Great man.
Yeah, we like Martin Luther King. We like civil liberty in this country. And so I'm just reading just a few quotes. Everybody is on welfare in this country. The problem is that we all too often have socialism for the rich and rugged free enterprise capitalism for the poor. What do we think about that?
Well, it's a true statement.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't need to be on welfare, but people get on welfare.
Well, I'm talking about how we have socialism for the rich, free market capitalism, rugged individualism for the poor.
You want rugged individualism for the poor?
Yeah, like socialism for the rich, rugged individualism.
Been that way for how long?
It's been that way for a while.
A while.
I mean, yeah.
So people get elected to office to change some of the issues that we have here.
Yeah.
It's not perfect here. It's not perfect in Canada either. Right?
Are you from Canada?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've been there.
Okay. Oh yeah. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. 'Cause I feel like when we focus on welfare, we're not focusing on corporate welfare.
Right.
We're focusing on, some person getting, SNAP benefits.
Yes.
And getting $200 in food benefits per month, $300 for a family.
He had great intentions when he was speaking every time.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with everything that he say was perfectly true.
I understand why they killed him. I mean, this is a guy who traveled the country, uniting all races under the banner of labor.
Right.
We don't want,
Right.
people don't like that. They don't like that at all.
Wall Street Masterson.
Yeah,
Canadian what?
A comedian. Do we like Martin Luther King?
Of course. Look what he did for this country.
What did he do for the country?
He changed the viewership of racism and that which we all should be together as one and not as and what he said, it's not your skin color, it's the content of your character.
So I'm gonna read some quotes and we just tell me what you think about it.
That's a key one, yeah.
Everybody is on welfare in this country. The problem is that we all too often have socialism for the rich and rugged free enterprise capitalism for the poor.
I don't know if socialism for rich meaning they get what they want, they control things, and rugged capitalism for the poor.
Yeah, like
I don't
they
believe
get
in
social welfare, they get government contracts.
Yeah.
They get these pork-laden contracts.
But my feeling is they work their way into it. They work their way up to that. Now, the one problem we do have is the way that our government, those elected officials, patronize and give those things out to them and get money in return. And now, so that's the problem.
We're talking. That's
the
it.
problem. That's the social. That is socialism.
Everybody is on welfare in this country. The problem is that we all too often have socialism for the rich and rugged free enterprise capitalism for the poor.
I think this is a country of great opportunity. I think I was in LA during the riots around Rodney King, and I believe that the Korean stores were the first to be burned. Okay, these people come to this country and with nothing and don't even know the language. The American
Socialism for the rich and rugged free individualism for the poor.
Everybody, the rich get rich on, we have generational wealth. We have like the DuPonts. We have all these people that are handed things. But then again, if it wasn't for the wealthy, it's trickled down. We can talk about Reaganomics all you want, but I really
do you believe in trickle down?
Well, I believe that if it wasn't for wealthy folks, people would not have jobs. So, it's like these gated communities. One gated community house that's $1 million will support families for years and years because the plumbers, the landscapers, the painters, everybody who has to go to that home, they support. And yes.
2018, there was the billionaire tax cuts for corporations and the rich, and they didn't hire more people after they got a tax cut. Like they did what's called stock buybacks. Are you familiar with stock buybacks?
Yeah, the whole thing with the economic collapse and the whole thing with the mortgages being bought and sold. That was the tax code in this country is so complex. It's enough to fill one of these buildings on paper. Okay, I really believe that with the tariffs coming in, and also if we just had a flat 1% sales tax on all goods, and did away with income tax, I think that'd be the best idea.
I think my problem with the sales tax thing is that's the poor are bearing the brunt of that. People that are lower class.
100%. The people that don't pay taxes, the drug addicts, the hookers, the prostitutes, the drug dealers, everybody pays 1% every transaction. No more income tax. The underground community, everybody's going to pay.
Wait, the hookers. Wait, what? How?
Yeah, hookers, people that don't pay.
When I think of who and what is ruining this country, I'm not thinking of.
Well, we're talking taxes.
Sex.
We're talking taxes right now. You're talking about corporate and all this.
Yeah.
If free enterprise was allowed to go untethered with no taxes, and everybody had to pay when they purchase something 1%, rather than we have to do this complex bullshit of filling out tax forms every April.
It's more complex because of the tax software companies lobby Congress to keep it complex.
Absolutely.
And it could be so much easier where we could just go online and the IRS could figure out our taxes.
We'll do a flat tax.
But the QuickBookses and the tax software companies they're the ones that don't want that.
There's a big sign in my accountant's office, and it says to avoid taxes is legal, to evade is illegal. You go into gray areas very quickly, okay?
Yeah.
If you've been through 3 audits and your book's under a microscope, you tend to...
Are you a business owner?
Absolutely.
I'm a business owner. I'm a business owner.
I employ 17 people.
Yeah.
And it's a nut.
I'm a big dirty leftist. I want you to get a business. I want you to get a business subsidy more than I want Microsoft or Amazon.
I don't want a subsidy. I've earned my way. I've busted my ass and I've continued to earn my way. I don't want anything from anybody.
Okay.
I really don't.
Fair enough.
I've worked my ass off my whole life. I've never taken anything from the government. I've never been on welfare, food stamps. I've never asked for a...
I was on welfare during the credit crisis.
Well,
that was dark times.
I live just north of Orlando, in between Daytona and Orlando. If you do not have a job, that's a problem because everybody is hiring. I think there's been a paradigm shift with young men in this country. Maybe it's technology. I don't know. I don't understand it.
Do you think it's a wage thing?
Absolutely not. No.
What do you?
It's in the heart and mind.
You don't think if someone's paying more in wages that we'd find people quicker?
Absolutely not. We pay competitive wages. We start somebody out up here at the top. They waltz right in. We have a no cell phone policy while we're working. They'll violate that the first day. We have
What's your business?
We have a land clearing and a tree service. We do pruning and removals.
And do you hire people that are documented or undocumented?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How well do they work?
Look, it's not a choice. You come to work, either you're here to help or you're here to get in the way. And the lazy folks, people that don't show up on time, are weeded out immediately.
My thing is, the undocumented people of this country, I feel like they work their ass off.
Some do, some don't. We have a new wave of Venezuelans that are coming in that have a feeling of self-entitlement. That's my humble opinion. I can't speak for every individual, but people are coming into this country and they're taking full advantage of everything the Dems, the Libs, they want to give. The house is full. If you invited your family over, all your friends, they're sleeping on the floor. They've ate all the food in your refrigerator.
If I let my friends over and then they, open small businesses and they were the least likely to...
You have a partner. You have a wife, you have a husband, whatever, and you have an apartment. And you both decide to let these folks in.
This is one thing I like to talk about is undocumented immigrants. How much do you think they pay in taxes every year?
It depends. If they're going
just undocumented, how much do you
It
think?
depends. It depends. When you say the other thing is the term undocumented versus illegal. Okay. You come in at the port of entry to this country like everyone else.
And I'm just talking about undocumented. Undocumented immigrants pay $96 billion in taxes.
Yeah. Now, okay. Now, same thing with Tyson Foods. Tyson Foods in North Carolina. Agriculture Foods. Tyson Foods in North Carolina. The people, these pig hog farms, the agriculture, the people that clean the rooms for these big hotel chains. Yeah. There's only so much H-2B visas available every year. Americans are not going to go out and do the agriculture work, period.
Yeah.
And I get it. So they come in under false documentation. The federal government's taking these taxes, but are they getting a return on fake ID?
They're not getting a return. They're paying into a system that they get nothing out of.
Yeah, so that's the stagnation that we've had in this, and this is what needs to be fixed. Absolutely, hands down. If every illegal alien was to be removed instantaneously from this country, things would come to a grinding halt. Because
thank you for acknowledging that.
Oh no, it's hands down. It's a complex issue. It is a very complex issue.
Well, so but you're aware of that though. Why are you supporting Trump then if you're aware that the country would not function without?
Because the house is full. Do you think any other country in the world you can just waltz in and you would be treated the same?
We're not any other country. We're America.
Absolutely.
I'm at the inauguration. Elon Musk just gave the Sig Heil, and MAGA hasn't been told what to think about it yet. So I'm going to just ask them what they think about it. Let's get an honest reaction. Hey, look at this. Did you see this? Did you see that?
Yep.
Elon Musk, he's talking. Is it Trump's way? Oh.
Okay. What was he saying?
I mean, what can you be saying? What is there to be said at that point?
I don't know. The rocket's shooting off into space, and he's like, and they're going, shoo. My heart goes out to you. Okay, my heart goes out to you.
All right, that's cool.
Interesting.
That's
Heart's going out.
Yeah, flying out.
What do we think of this?
My heart goes out to you.
Look, right, and then he goes like this. He goes.
I have no idea. That looks like AI to me.
But what if it was real?
What if it was real? I don't know.
What if it was
It's
real?
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. It looks fake though.
It looks fake? So I'm trying to get people's reaction. What do you think about that?
You want me to read it?
No. What do you think about it? Look
just
at
Elon in general.
Elon. No, look at
His hand signal.
the hand signal.
Yeah, he said Texas Longhorn fan.
That's I mean, come on.
Come on.
What do you think about that?
He's in Texas.
Oh,
He's
that's
a Longhorn fan.
He's a Longhorn fan.
Yeah, see.
You guys here for the inauguration?
Yes, sir.
Look at this. What do we think about this?
No interview.
No, it's a heart. It's a heart.
It's a heart?
I know you're fake news. I know you.
You're fake news, yes.
I know you're fake news. It's a heart.
Listen, if you see someone with the Sig Heil, it's just they're trying to let you know that their heart goes out to you. If someone's in your neighborhood, they're marching, and they do the Sig Heil, it means their heart is going out to you. What do we think about this? Look at this. Look at that.
I love him. I love him so much. And he's going
Well, you
to
don't think that's weird, though, the thing? You
No.
don't think that's weird to go like that?
No, I don't think he's... What are you talking about?
Look.
the hand. But look. Hands and look the light. What does it mean, the light? Power. Better.
He has the power of the United
Well, it is about power. We can agree on that. Yes, it is definitely.
Did you see the light? It's power.
It is about power. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I agree. Yeah. What do you think about Elon's performance here?
Let me guess. He puts his arm up. Is that what you're going to show?
What? Come on. What do we think about this?
I'm not in any political position to say. That's way out of my price range, as he's a billionaire. Do I think that's okay? No. Do I think he'll make an apology about it? Yes, as that context will definitely get taken out of the wrong way.
So as a human being, we can agree that is weird.
Correct. I can agree with that.
Okay. Thank you so much for just saying that is weird. You're the first person I spoke to that's saying that's weird.
Like I said, I'm a conservative, but I can honestly say what's right and what's wrong. That I don't necessarily agree with, as that could be very offensive to people.
Yeah, it's messed up. I mean, I think he meant it as a joke.
Thank you. I had 10 other people are like, wow.
I'm from New York, and that wouldn't even be allowed there. My state is very blue.
It shouldn't be allowed anywhere.
Shouldn't be allowed anywhere. I'm
from New York too. I'm Brooklyn.
I'm Brooklyn.
Oh, you're like.
I'm Coney Island.
Yeah.
That's the heart of Brooklyn.
You're in the Brooklyn part of Brooklyn.
I'm Brooklyn part of Brooklyn. That's not.
Are you born and raised? I'm born and raised.
I'm here from Friday to tomorrow, but that would not be okay.
Yeah. What do you think of Elon here?
Spectacular.
You thought, no, this, have you seen this thing? Well, I'm just getting people's reaction to whether or not this is weird.
No, he's touching his heart. He's all right.
Did we see this video yet?
He's doing a little see Kyle. Is that what it was?
The see Kyle.
I mean, I think honestly he's like a little bit, maybe he's got Asperger's. So I don't think he knows what he's doing. And I'm part Jewish. I would be very critical if he was doing the see Kyle. I don't.
Coupling that with his support of the AFD.
Yeah.
And then, all right, we're in weird territory.
I don't know too much about the AFD since I saw it back in 2015 or whatever. I used to live in Germany.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Yeah.
The AFD is like, you know Marine Le Pen?
Yeah.
Marine Le Pen thinks they're too extreme for her. And I think she's very extreme, very xenophobic. And even she's just like, yeah.
You're saying AFD is too extreme?
AFD is too extreme for Marine Le Pen. AFD, look them up. They're weird.
Alternative für Deutschland. Right?
Yeah, Alternative für Deutschland. Yeah, it's like it's going in a direction that Germany should not be going. I don't want to say anti-Semitism is on the rise because that makes the assumption that anti-Semitism went down at some point. It's never went anywhere. Elon Musk, he's about to be a trillionaire. That should be illegal. He's close to being a trillionaire. That's like a cartoon.
If you can bring us to the moon, bring us to Mars, I think it's...
No one can live on Mars. I think if anyone's gonna go live on Mars, he's gonna go live on Mars.
Yeah.
Elon's gonna go live on Mars. He's gonna be like bye.
I'd be right there with him. I'd go to Mars with him.
But he's not taking you to Mars. He's taking himself to Mars. He's not gonna take you. That's the thing. He's taking none of us to Mars. Do you have $1 billion? I
do not.
You're not going to Mars.
That's all right. I mean, I'll be here. Maybe my children will go to Mars.
What do you think of Elon Musk doing the Sig Heil? You see that?
I'm not really sure, yeah.
You know what a Sig Heil looks like?
It looks like he's just holding his heart.
He's just holding his heart. The Third Reich was just trying to give out hugs. The Axis powers were just trying to give out a hug. And these evil allied powers were like, no, we can't give out hugs and no free love. What does this look like to you? Honest reaction.
It seems like a... Let me see. Hard with you.
He had the smartest reaction. He was just like, nope. What do we think of this?
Oh, Elon Musk. He's a great guy. He's going to take us to Mars. He's
taking himself to Mars.
He wants to take humans.
What is that?
He's a good
honest
guy.
reaction.
He wants to put a flag on the right side and a flag on the left side and up on Mars. That's what he said today. He wants to shoot a rocket to Mars.
If you couple that action with his support of AFD in Germany, it's a little weird.
Weird.
Yeah. An honest reaction of, hey, you saw anyone do that.
He's excited.
He's excited.
Yeah, he said he's excited. It's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Can you say it's weird? Can you just agree that that's just weird?
I'm weird. You're weird.
If Trump invited you to the presidential inauguration and you had to give a speech,
be excited.
You think, I don't know what I'm going to say, but I don't think I'm going to go like that.
But if he sent you a check in the mail for $500,000, would you think it's weird? If Elon Musk sent you a check in the mail for $50,000.
For $50,000.
Would you still think it's weird?
If Elon paid me to not think it's weird.
Yes, sir.
He's on track to be the world's first trillionaire.
Correct.
So he could pay most of America to not think it's weird. He could buy Twitter and be like, that's not weird.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
He's doing that right now.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. He is buying the global Times Square. So we don't think all of this is weird.
No.
So anyway, I'm going to go warm up. This is insane. Strap in for 4 years of insanity.
Are you a Canadian?
What? I'm a comedian.
You're a what?
I'm a comedian. I'm a comedian. She's a Canadian.
Okay, she's a Canadian.
She's a Canadian. The person holding the camera,
What's your
she's
name, sir?
Walter Masterson.
Our country was invaded. We are standing in America that's an invaded country.
There was all that talk about illegal immigrants coming over the border, getting a cell
wasn't
phone.
talk, sir. There's news
but,
media.
I know, but they got a cell phone and a voter ID card.
Yes.
And I didn't see any of them come up in the election. The Democrats lost the election.
Yes, they did.
Democrats lost. Where were the 20 million undocumented immigrants at the voting booths?
They weren't allowed to vote.
Yes. There we go. Thank you. So they weren't allowed to vote, but we had.
In my state, I am a central Iowan. We arrested and prosecuted in some of our counties people that tried to. Not many, but they tried to.
I'm for the working class. Any policy?
So are the communists, sir. Are you a nationalist? A
Wait,
globalist?
so the No.
Are you a nationalist?
I'm
a globalist?
I'm for the middle class. I'm for the working class.
Okay.
I'm for everyone having health care. Everyone.
Health care is a privilege, not a right.
I think you should have health care.
Do you drive?
Do I drive cars? Yes.
Okay. Do you have a license?
Yes.
Is that a right or a privilege?
I have to take a test for it. Should I take a test if I have stage 4 cancer?
But if you break the laws and it's taken away from you, that's called a privilege and you lose it, right? Health care should be the same way. It's a privilege to have Medicare.
Yes, I want everyone to have your privilege.
It isn't just
I want everyone to have it.
But with the privilege...
Wait, you have Medicare.
We're going there. I'm going to get there.
Yes.
But with the privilege, you have a responsibility, right?
Why are we arguing?
No.
I want you to have more Medicare.
Yes.
I want everyone here to have Medicare.
Okay, so I'm going to get there. I'm going to make a statement.
Yeah.
Let me make it. So we both agree we need to have the health.
Yes.
But what I differ with is it's a responsibility if you have a privilege. See my thought?
How did you get it as a privilege, though?
I passed a test like you did.
What's the Medicare test?
The test is being an American, reaching a certain age, then you can apply for it. I didn't get it automatic. I had to be approved. It's a privilege.
I want everyone to have it, though.
I need a criteria.
Yeah, so, but how do we...
You get a license, you have to be a certain age. You got to take a test.
But I don't want everyone to wait till they're 65 to get a license.
If you break the laws, you get your privileges taken away.
If you get a traffic ticket, I don't want you to have your Medicare taken away.
There are people that abuse the medical, sir.
United Healthcare defrauded the Medicare system.
Yes, there is that gentleman did the dastardly thing. I'm not supporting him.
I'm talking about United Healthcare, how they abused the system and they tried to defraud the Medicare system.
Sir, that's why we have regulation. That's why we have the motor vehicle. You have a license, there's the motor vehicle authority that regulates it, correct?
Yeah.
The medical is the same way. It should be regulated.
My problem is Trump wants to cut Medicare.
That's too bad.
What do you mean? He wants to cut your Medicare.
Who?
Trump.
That is not true, sir. He has never made that statement that he's going to do that. Ask him. Get the privilege of asking him. He will tell you. I've heard him on TV say that.
J.D. Vance has specifically said they want to get rid of, right under Obamacare, under your favorite, they have a thing where, the pre-existing condition. They can't deny someone by law. You can't deny someone for having a pre-existing condition. Vance said he wants to get rid of that.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
So
but
do you think
can I stop a second and can I finish what I'm saying? So if you have this thought that you just said, hear the other side too before you make an opinion.
I'm telling you about exactly what J.D. Vance said.
You're hearing what other people say they're saying.
I'm heard what J.D. Vance specifically said. He specifically said this. He said it during the debate with whoever the guy was, Walz. He said that is destroying the healthcare system in the country.
I wasn't there. I didn't hear that. But what he is for is change. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Because they're not doing like they should do. Even though we got the Obamacare Act and we now all have medicine.
It could be single payer.
Don't guess the worst, sir. You keep guessing the worst. Wait to see what they have that's better.
If Trump said, I want a single payer system, I want to expand Medicare, I would be like, oh my God, that's amazing.
Let's wait to hear what they have to say.
But everything I read in
You're
Project
reading the wrong stuff.
I was reading Project 2025.
They're not for Project Trump. They've said that on TV.
Everyone, the authors for Project 2025, all work for Trump now.
You're hearing what people that are against President Trump are saying about him.
Russ Vought, who is the head of Project 2025, now works for Trump. There's hundreds of people that now work for the administration. They were all authors of Project 20.
All I know is what you're saying is what the opposite people of President Trump say. You are believing that in your mind. It's not coming out his mouth. How can you have that opinion?
Donald Trump's not an idiot. Of course he's not going to say, it's all Project 2025. No one likes it. There's terrible...
You think he's not telling you and he's hiding.
There's still a tweet from him when he was president the first time. The Heritage Foundation comes out with this, project every year. They come out, and when they gave it to him the first time, he was like, "Oh, I'm almost done implementing all of your policies."
Until President Trump is for it, says he's for it, and implements it, I don't believe what you're saying, sir. Katie Vance say that we want to make it fair employment for small businessmen so we can increase the employership in small businesses so we can have fair taxes for middle America and
Microsoft is not a small business.
Let me finish. You've been talking a lot. Yeah. And correct taxes for those entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Now, I could care less about the regulated community that's not doing the right thing with stock buybacks. Maybe we need to regulate better. I don't know. I'm not that person to ask that about. I'm all about middle Americans, small business, and business in general, employing people with fair taxes, both economically for the middle Americans and for their entrepreneurs. Whether they're a large entrepreneur, maybe they need to be treated a little different than the small entrepreneur, but we need more employment and more fair taxes.
Yeah, so Microsoft is not a small business.
No.
Amazon is not a small business.
Sir, and we have the Federal Trade Commission, do we not? They take care of that, sir.
Wait, are you for the Federal Trade Commission? You had Lena Khan. She went hard against antitrust.
I'm not on issues, sir. I'm talking about the Federal Trade Commission ideally.
I actually.
They're supposed to regulate business from getting too big, so that we have competition. That's democracy.
Yes, and
we agree.
And those people are going to get fired. Those people are going to get fired.
Can we switch the story?
No.
We need to stop Chinese companies buying up American factories, land, and farmland, and get them out of our country. That does not promote.
I don't want to switch subject.
Democratic competition.
You were doing really well, though. You were doing really well.
Competition. That's democracy.
Yeah. The Federal Trade Commission went under Biden. Actually went under Lena Khan. Lena Khan. Look her up. She actually was probably the only good thing you could say about the last 4 years. She went after the big supermarket chains. She went after Google. She went after basically every big multi-billion dollar
press people.
You think Microsoft is a press?
Yeah.
They're not a press. Wait, no, you're kidding. She went after the biggest corporations in terms of antitrust. They were trying to. Huge grocery store chains were trying to merge with each other.
Yeah,
she went after
had
that.
One that almost tried to do that.
Yeah, and then the FTC stopped it.
Yes.
So
because we want fair competition. That's democracy.
Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Give me a hug, dude.
I'm for that. I'm an American.
Yeah, but you're so close. You're so close, and I want to help you out. I want to help you out.
I don't want to be what you are.
I want to help you out.
I am, and you can be what you are.
No, but
we're America.
But I feel like we're swerving off the road here.
We don't need control. We just need regulation properly.
Yeah, but
if it's not done properly, they need to have their hands slapped, sir.
Yes, but if Donald Trump said I'm going to reappoint Lena Khan as head of the FTC, I would be like, oh my God, he's not going to do that. He's going to appoint someone at the head of the FTC that is the opposite of Lena Khan. The big businesses.
Can I talk about leadership for a second? Because
we're talking about leadership.
Okay. So when we have good leaders, it should be good for the people. That's what MAGA is all about. Let me finish. When we have good citizens who are not compliant, who are doing responsible things, and they hire good leaders, we have good leadership. Sir, we don't always get good leaders because we have complacency, irresponsible citizenry, and they elect not good leaders. We need good leaders. That's why we in the MAGA movement want good leaders, sir. President Trump is going to be our leader, but we will have other good leaders in MAGA. MAGA will never stop.
This is the Bible, the Trump Bible. The stranger that dwelleth with you shall be unto you as one born among you. And thou shalt love him as thyself. For ye were strangers in the land of Egypt.
I'm sorry?
The Trump Bible.
No, where?
Leviticus. It's saying love the foreigner. Because we were once foreigners in the land of Egypt.
So are you trying to make a connection to like the immigrant situation, or?
Yeah, because I'm saying it's in the Bible. And you know, I'm a Christian. You're a Christian.
I mean, we don't hate immigrants.
Jesus was an immigrant.
Yeah. But every country today has laws and borders.
Trump wants to take away birthright citizenship.
I don't think he'll do that.
So if you came here and you're a baby, the baby does not have birthright citizenship.
As long as they get a lot of these criminals out of here, I'd be happy.
Reading the Trump Bible. This is Trump's Bible. But the stranger that dwelleth with you shall be unto you as one.
Look that up.
Wait, so you're saying the Bible's not univocal?
Romans. Look up Romans.
I mean, you can't just pick and choose the parts of the Bible that you like.
I know the Lord himself, okay? I can pick and choose what I want. I know the Lord, and I know everything that Jesus said. Romans 1, chapter 23. And they exchanged the glory of the incorruptible God for the likeness of an image of a corruptible man, and flying things, and four-legged beasts and serpents.
Wait, read that again. I like that. Romans 1:23. I think we're on to something here. So read it again.
And they exchanged the glory of God for the incorruptible God, for the likeness of an image of corruptible man, and flying things, and four-legged beasts and serpents.
Yeah.
That's what you got to get on, dude.
No, I like that one. The stranger that dwelleth with you shall be unto you as one born among you, and thou shalt love him as thyself, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. What do we think about that?
I think it's fine. Anything the Lord says is fine.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Jesus was an immigrant.
Yeah, me too. I was an immigrant. I still think anybody who comes here legally is wonderful. If it's illegal, it's not wonderful.
Do you want to expand legal pathways to citizenship?
I would kick out every illegal immigrant possible and have them come here legally. My dad was in World War II. He came here from Portugal in 1936, and he fought in World War II for all 4 years of the war. All his friends passed away.
That's actually,
all of his friends died.
You know, there's a thing with veterans.
They died for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay, they died for a reason, and they died to protect America. And I think that every single person should come here legal. He had to wait 4 years after he got out of the military to become a citizen.
Yeah,
that was his greatest achievement. He told me.
Right now, there's a thing with the veterans where you have undocumented veterans getting deported.
They don't need to be deported. I would keep an undocumented veteran here, okay? And I don't believe that Trump would deport any of those undocumented veterans. It's impossible.
What about the people that are already here under TPS?
Out of here immediately.
But they're here. That's TPS. It's protected.
I don't care about any protection. If they were here illegally to begin with, they should need to leave immediately.
But they're here under TPS.
Yeah, that's all gimmicks. They need to be here legally.
So the thing about legal immigration, that was just bullshit?
No, it's not bullshit. It's bullshit to you. But
you're saying you want them here legally, but they're here legally under TPS.
No, they're not here legally under GPS. I do not believe that.
But the stranger that dwelleth with you shall be unto you as one born among you, and thou shalt love him as thyself. For ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. What do we think about that?
Oh, I have a good one. I think, I think that's a good point. It's in Leviticus, so it's the old Israeli law. I think the alien who is among you shall rise higher and higher above you, and you shall come down lower and lower. He shall lend to you, but you shall not lend to him. He shall be the head, and you shall be the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon you and pursue and overtake you until you are destroyed. That's a prophecy about like the Jews, and basically it's saying that the Jews are going to stop following God, and because of that, God's going to rise up the Gentiles.
I think Date the Right Stuff does it better, though.
Date the Right Stuff. He copied me. I did it first.
I don't think so.
I did. Policy-wise, like, what do you want to see happen?
Policy-wise, I think that he's really going to crack down on like transgender policy. I'm tired of seeing men in women's sports. I'm tired of going to school and hearing that, men can become women and that gender's not a real thing. Gender doesn't equivalent to sex. It's ridiculous. It's like brain rot,
Well, I mean, there's a difference between gender and biological sex.
Oh, really?
There's different.
What is it?
What?
What is it?
Gender is something we made up.
What would you define a woman as?
What?
What would you define a woman as?
I think 18 years old. I don't know. The Bible says 12.
just
What about
age.
you? What
Wait,
about
wait.
about you?
A woman is an adult human female. An
Okay.
adult human female.
So 18. According to MAGA, a woman that gets
on.
raped, a girl that gets raped by her dad is ready to become a mom.
That's definitely. I don't know where you're getting your information. That's not true.
18 years old.
You're defining a woman as 18 years old. So an 18-year-old dog is a woman to you? That's all it qualifies to be a woman?
We don't have gender constructs with animals. They don't.
What
There's
is
no
gender?
gender.
What is gender? What is gender?
What? Gender is something. Gender is something we made up. Wait, no. I'm sorry. How do we know that you're a woman?
We know a woman.
How do we know that you're? How do I know that you're a woman?
You know that I'm a woman because I'm an adult human female.
How do I know?
Because I'm an adult human female. That's
How do
what
I- how
makes
do-
somebody a woman.
Would you just walk around with your genitals out? Like, how do I know?
You want me to walk around with my genitals out?
No, I actually don't want you to do that. But how do I know you're a woman?
That seems a bit odd to me.
How do I know? How do we know you're a woman?
You
could be a man. How do we know?
Well, what makes somebody a woman is being an adult human female.
Okay.
I'm an adult, I'm a human, and I'm a female.
So would you?
Hey, if you're confused about your gender, look down your pants.
How you doing, man? Check it out, bro. So, but I'm saying, how do we know? How do I know you're a woman?
Well, because I'm telling you that
you're-
I'm an adult. I'm a
Because you're
human, and I'm a
presenting.
female.
Because you're presenting as a
so
woman.
if-
Let's talk about immigration. How much do you think immigrants pay in taxes every year? Undocumented, just undocumented. We're not even talking about people here on a TPS or anything like that.
It doesn't matter if they're paying taxes or not. They're not citizens. They shouldn't have the right to vote.
No, the undocumented people, they don't vote.
No, I understand, but there's a certain faction that wants.
There was this whole scare about how the undocumenteds were coming over, getting a cell phone, getting a voter ID card, and then being able to.
Is that true?
Well, I mean, look at the election. Trump won. They were supposed to be 20 million.
If that's true, then they voted for Trump.
I mean, they came over and they voted for Trump.
Think that we're already deporting people, or do you think we just don't deport them at all?
There's been very little deportation.
The
I
last
can't
4
tell
years
you.
have been the lowest deportation in a long time. Less than Obama, certainly less than the last President Trump.
I believe the numbers are Biden deported more than Trump, right? I have to
No,
look it up. I'll have to write in a minute.
No.
My whole thing is this. So, undocumented immigrants, just undocumented, they pay $98 billion in taxes every year, which is significant.
That's a lot.
Right, but the other question is, how much do they receive?
They don't receive.
Supposedly they don't, but we know they do. Just we know they get credit cards somewhere around 2,000. They've kicked out veterans out of housing to make room for immigrations, and doubled the rent from.
A fair point. We're getting into the housing crisis.
Right.
So the housing crisis, these landlords, you have something like Zillow. They've bought up BlackRock, Zillow. They've bought up thousands, hundreds of properties in areas. And then instead of looking at them, we get to blame the immigrants for the housing crisis instead of blaming, like a foreign entity, right?
The difference is Zillow and BlackRock, which that needs to be corrected by that needs to be changed. We're not for that, for them buying up 5,000-6,000 and then dictating to and making housing out of range. So that is a problem. Well, you were talking about immigration.
Yeah.
And you talk about 98 billion of taxes, but you got to subtract the amount of free stuff that they get here. They pay the taxes, but what you don't realize, there would be other citizens, American citizens, that would pay, if they had those jobs, would pay those same taxes. So it's not like they're contributing more than what would be there if we were hiring American citizens. And take those jobs away, which creates welfare.
I'm asking people, what are some of the things that you're excited to see Trump do when he's in office?
Deport.
Deport.
Yeah, I think it's going to help take some of the pressure off the country
for housing prices, for food.
I feel like there's another part to that housing crisis. There's the big business, there's the Zillow, there's the BlackRock.
Yep.
They're buying up 500 homes,
Yes.
100 homes. I feel a way about blaming housing on immigrants versus BlackRock or Zillow,
Sure.
or foreign investors, foreign venture capitalists
Yep.
from other countries. How much do you love businesses from China coming in and
Yes.
buying up
They
100
should not be able to buy our farmland.
So here's my thing. Undocumented immigrants are 50%, 48% of the agricultural workforce.
Sure.
So what do we do about that? If they're
It's not
gone,
undocumented, though. It's a felony to come into our country.
no, but
correct?
the undocumented immigrants right now, they're 50% of our agricultural workforce.
That's fine. There's Americans that can fill those jobs. Need to reduce the number of people on welfare. Get out and work. If you're able-bodied and can work, go work.
The average time that you're on welfare is 2 years.
I
So,
don't think that's a realistic statistic.
There's generational
Yes, there
issues,
is.
but the average is 2 years. I was on benefits at one point.
But it was a hand up for you, not a handout. It shouldn't be a perpetual handout.
Yeah,
Correct?
I was on it. It helped. I was starving.
Sure.
I was like,
A safety net for people is okay, right? But it should be a limited amount of time.
my issue is I want us to be mad at the right people.
I get
Right
that.
now, I feel like you're mad at you should be mad at Zillow and BlackRock.
Sure.
You should be mad at these big corporations that suppress wages, and you're mad at welfare, immigrants,
I'm not
and
mad at
for
that,
you know what I mean,
but
for
it is a felony to come into our country illegally. There's a process that they need to follow to come into the country.
Yeah. For the people that are already here under like a protected status, like TPS, the Haitian immigrants that are in Springfield, Ohio, here under TPS, what should happen to them?
Don't know. I don't have an answer for that one.
I mean, people that like showed up to the border and surrendered themselves.
Sure.
Immigration is the same thing. We're not.
How much do you think undocumented immigrants pay in taxes every year?
I don't know what the
$96 billion.
Here's the point. What do you say about the people who've been in line for years to become citizens legally? Not one advocate,
make them
not one voice on their
citizens.
behalf. No.
Groypers! America first! The boys! The boys! You guys know
those
them?
Nick Fuentes people?
The boys.
What?
Based.
Are they Fuentes?
One of
the,
them,
The
yeah.
Groypers?
Yeah, I don't know. They don't get it. They don't get it.
What do you think about Nick
I get it.
Fuentes?
He doesn't like
What?
it.
What do you think about Nick Fuentes?
He doesn't like it.
Nick Fuentes is an amazing example of a closeted gay man. A closeted gay man who is very confused about himself. He basically said that it's gay, because he's a virgin, makes him more of a man because he hasn't slept with a woman.
Good for him. That's good for him. Being a virgin is your superpower. It's
And
your
essentially
superpower.
what you're saying is,
Actually, bro, in mice, there's a protein that when they lose their virginity, it leaves the brain.
No,
I swear to God.
but what you're saying is,
I'm well aware. I'm an American history teacher. I teach my students complete truth in the American history.
So that's interesting. Sorry. So you're here in support of Trump?
I always attend the presidential inauguration, whoever wins.
Oh, okay.
I'm pro-American.
Okay, so you sound like you're a military member. You serve the country, not your president type of thing.
Yeah, no, I serve my country.
Okay.
I take a bullet for this country.
Who'd you vote for in the election?
I don't say who I vote for.
Oh, okay.
And that's 2020, 2024.
Okay.
I say who's good and I say who's bad. I base it off of what the individual action is. I think anybody who blindly follows the president is a fool.
I can get behind that on any side. American history teacher, so what's it going to be like for you? Trump wants to get rid of the Department of Education. He wants to institute school choice, which is basically a wealth transfer.
Well, I think to a degree that there's some good and there's some bad. I think parents do have a right. That comes with severe ramifications. I mean, I'm from the Carolinas and I come from a small town. I love my small town, but a lot of them teach exclusively religion or off religion. I will also say that there has been a huge trend, as you see, as the Department of Education has increased. Test scores have unfortunately gone down. And I'm not saying correlation.
We're testing everyone. 20 years ago, we weren't testing everyone. And now we're testing everyone and we're seeing, the population needs remedial
And
help.
For sure, I think this goes back to, I think it should be left up to the states. And of course, you see states like Alabama and Mississippi are likely going to suffer from that. As a result, they're going to face political pressure from their constituents. Thankfully, I'm from North Carolina, and I think to a degree we have wonderful state government that is going to do well for us.
Are you a public school teacher or charter?
Public.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love my job, and being a teacher is fulfilling. We just got full staff. The teacher shortage is unfortunately abysmal, and it's understandable. I mean, you see what the pay is like, but I don't do it for the pay. I do it because I love it. What do you think of charter schools?
We already have charter schools.
No, I'm saying, like, what do you think of them?
I've actually been educated at a public school, a charter school, and a private school. I went to Jesuit Catholic. I went to a charter school, but the charter school still had to abide by Department of Education guidelines.
Okay, but which one was better?
What? Which one was better?
Like, out of the Jesuit school, the charter school, and the public school, which one was, out of those, which was the best one for you?
That's difficult to say. They all like had their ups and downs. The private school had so much more amenities. It was, just such a nice place. They could afford really good teachers. They could do that.
And shouldn't we be?
But private. That was private. That's private school dollars. That's like it was incredibly well funded by billionaires. The charter school was smaller, but again, it was right. We already have charters right now, and they're under the Department of Education. So that was my thing. So I mean, they want to have charters that are completely outside of any scope of Department of Education. And Department of Education runs through the state. The states do decide currently.
Now, I do want to ask, what would you argue is the best solution for improving the education system?
When people talk about school choice, I think they're halfway to the point, right? Like right now, and if you live in a rich neighborhood, so listen, if you live in a rich neighborhood and you guys pay a lot of property taxes, the school in that neighborhood is incredibly well funded, right? You can afford good teachers, everything. If the people in the poor neighborhood could send their kids to the school in the upper class zip code, then that would desegregate our education system.
I would argue it's more so a concern of forced inclusion in classrooms, for one, and as well as how diminished the public education systems become. I mean, I love my job and I try to do my best, but I had a sophomore in honors ask me what the KKK was.
Yeah. And
yes. Well, and she went to public school her entire life.
Yeah. This administration does not want us teaching children what the KKK was. And
can you provide a source for that?
I have been through, you have Moms for Liberty, anything that is considered critical race theory. Critical race theory is this very...
No, I've read Derek.
It's very, well, it's not... They're against critical race theory when what they mean by that is it's a very general term that they can weaponize and stigmatize when they see fit.
It has a specific definition. I
know what critical race theory is.
I know what you're saying, but I'm saying that what the opposition to is saying that race is pretty much what matters the most, or is the only thing that matters. And whenever you reduce that to how American history is, that's a very reductionist worldview. I mean, there are nuanced opinions that do matter. Derek Bell's entire idea is that Brown versus Board of Education was a bad thing, or because it was within the scope of privileging white people. Brown versus Board of Education was a positive thing as a whole.
And there are people teaching right now, like Charlie Kirk, saying that desegregation was.
I'm more of a Shapiro guy.
A Ben Shapiro guy?
I've met him. A wonderful guy.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. No, his father, him, wonderful people.
We could agree to disagree. We're having a dialogue. We're both agreeing to disagree. I personally do not. I don't like him.
I could probably pick up on that.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Take care.
Cheers, man.
Wait, and this is what matters. This dialogue is what matters.
Yeah, I do this all the time. My name's Walter Masterson. I travel around the United States. I talk to. I'm probably the most outside of my bubble person in this country.
So,
How would you self-identify in terms of like ideology?
Like more leftist, communist, socialist.
Oh, okay.
Pro working class. If it's for the working class, I'm in it.
And-
Working Families Party.
I'm a Haley conservative.
Haley
I'm
conservative.
a neo-conservative. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. And I had a good time talking with you, man. Cheers.
I hope they pull through with this, the MAGA stuff, like cleaning up our food and stuff like that.
Like removing the dyes.
Yeah, just going through it, like just making our, you have the ingredients list from a country and another country and our country next to each other. Like we got a bunch more stuff in there.
I do want food to be healthier. My concern is the whole thing with them taking away fluoride.
I like getting rid of it. You like fluoride?
That led to better outcomes for everyone's teeth. Like dentists can say they can tell when someone is from an area where the water is not fluoridated. And
I don't know.
When I was reading that, the more I read about that, the more I'm like, there's no connection between like health outcomes. Like yeah, if there was all fluoride in the water, yeah. That part to me just seems bizarre. That part I'm like, this does not make sense. I like when he goes after BlackRock.
Yes.
RFK. My problem is that I don't think he'll get to do much of that under this administration. I would love it if that were true.
They're pretty bulletproof. But, at least someone's making an effort to publicly do it, which is good.
To go after BlackRock?
Yeah.
You think he's going to be able to go after BlackRock though? I feel like those people are going to be embedded in the administration. But
oh, absolutely.
Someone who likes RFK, do you believe in climate change?
Yeah, I'm more into the. I think the pollution's more the problem than the climate change. Like all the plastic we're throwing in the ocean and shit like that. Like that's something you can't really argue about that. You can see it, and that's like something we should focus on. Where other people are talking about like, oh, well, what causes climate change, and is it this? It's like, just stop throwing trash everywhere. It'd be nice.
Recycling, sustainability.
I don't know. I know there's pros and cons to all of it.
Honestly, if that's what gets people over to, on unity, if you just looking in the ocean, I'll take it. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. What's your job?
I'm a superintendent electrician.
Oh, okay.
So I run 30 guys, not all from America, but I treat everybody the same, just as Martin Luther King did. Great man, great Christian. I'm a great Christian. He's a great Christian.
Labor-wise, so you're a working class guy. Talk to me about what, the labor movement in this country.
Well, the labor movement is mostly run by union people, which is nothing wrong with the union. My brother-in-law is in unions. Everybody's in unions. But there's other people that are trying to get into this country, which they should do legally, like the people who work with me, which I don't mind. I teach other people to do that job, but they should come in here legally, in my opinion.
Wait, so you hire people that are undocumented?
Yes. Not my company. I'm just saying people who do a lot of work on the jobs that I'm working in Philadelphia. There's a lot of illegals working here.
Yeah.
Which
and then,
not all of them know what they're doing.
Just immigration aside, labor-wise, that's my focus. I think the best way to move forward in this country against the corporate elites is through workplace democracy, democratizing your workplace.
Sure, I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
But it has to be run by the right people, not all the time. You don't have the right people running these jobs half the time, and that's where the democracy comes in, because you don't have qualified people to run this. All they want to do is make money. They don't even care about the smaller people like me who run the job, which they should be doing, and they don't. All they want to do is make the money, like you're saying.
The one thing we have as middle-class people in this country is the ability to withhold our labor.
Yes. So we all work hard for our money, like you and everybody else that works hard for this money. That's where we come down with the same thing of equal welfare for people out there. Women make the same thing as electricians, equally qualified. Women make the same amount of money that I do. African Americans, same thing. If you're qualified, you get paid the same amount. Totally agree with all that stuff. Yeah. But the higher up people don't know what they're doing, in my opinion. And they should hire people like us to run that.
My concern is that you're going to have a lot of people, you're going to have this Trump administration undo a lot of labor laws and regulations that help the working class.
What has Biden done?
In terms of labor laws, strengthened labor laws.
Right.
I mean, there's
all the unions that paid him money.
All the unions. I mean, he saved the multi-employer pension plan for the Teamsters. Their pension plan was almost bankrupt through decades of mismanagement. I have a lot of things I don't like about him.
I understand.
Labor,
And a lot of
not
people
one
don't like
of
things
them.
about Trump.
There's a lot of things. Labor is there's a lot of things with labor I like about him with regards to that.
If you want to talk about labor, what about the veterans that are being screwed over by Biden?
How so?
He ruined the Veterans Affairs Committee. The veterans are not getting care like the illegals are getting. But you have the veterans that are living on the streets. Okay, suicide rate is way up in the veterans. A friend of mine died because of suicide.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have that in this country. You fought for your country. You should not be killing yourself over that. There should be more help for the veterans to help them out for suicide prevention.
Yeah, we're talking about mental.
Instead of paying for the illegals, you should pay for the veterans.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Thank you,
Thank you
man.
very much.
In Massachusetts, off the coast of Nantucket Island. Yeah.
Trump, wait, I didn't even know that.
I didn't either.
He was talking about the whales getting disoriented by
No,
the
he didn't
windmill.
say disoriented. He said that there's been issues with the whales because of the
What do you think, Carla? How does the windmills affect it? Because this is my first
just
time hearing it.
recently.
Well, when he says stuff like that, I think he's out of it. I
Okay.
think he's crazy when he's.
Okay, I
that
want you
sounds
to
insane.
research windmills in the ocean and see what happens. Because if you think about dolphins, they hear vibrations in the water.
Sure.
And whales, I believe, do the same. So if they're hearing, I mean, let's face it, if you're in the ocean and these windmills are going,
But then you're getting into offshore drilling. So do you want us to shut down offshore drilling?
No, windmills are. I'm not.
I mean, listen, you sound like a climate activist. You sound like a.
No. So what has happened on Cape Cod when they went to go to put the windmills? First of all, they have to put it on a foundation, right?
Sure.
So how do they find the foundation? And this is where Trump is coming from, is they use ultrasound.
But
The way
Trump
else
has
can-
plans to increase offshore drilling by 1,000%. Drill, baby, drill.
But you know what? I do not
I'm
hear.
only addressing windmills.
Your concern is actually very valid. So when they were when they were doing windmills in the water on Maine, as you said, it was messing in Massachusetts. This was off of the Cape. This was messing with the ecosystem, the whales, the dolphins, and Trump's going to do offshore drilling.
Okay,
and that's the same thing.
We can't talk
yes
about.
and no, because what my point is, and what's your name? I shouldn't even.
Walter Masterson.
Walter, what the difference is, we've been offshore drilling for years, off of the Gulf of Mexico.
And there's been huge effects for the ecosystem.
You know, I've never heard about whales beaching themselves with all those platforms out there in Texas, off of Gulf of Texas. The only time we've heard about it is the windmill drilling off of Nantucket and Cape Cod. Some of the most beautiful vacation spots ever.
May I speak?
Yeah.
Okay, so the other concern is, as a climate change person who's, very concerned. It's not to say that we don't have climate change, but the windmills, once the blades are rusted and no good, I'm told you can't even bury those. So we have waste of, of these blades. What are we going to do with all of these?
With the metal?
Yes. It's
It's
more.
Metal every day, though.
Yeah, no, I've
don't.
told that they're not recyclable, but
Metal's
I don't know. I don't know that
We
they're
don't
metal.
know, but
Whatever
we
they're
heard
made
that
of.
they're just graveyards. The fact is that it starts out clean. You think, oh boy, this is clean,
Right,
and all
it sounds good.
All sounds good, but the fact is, you have the aftermath. Number one, we know that affects the whales and the sea.
No, I care about the
I understand what
ecosystem.
you're
So do
saying.
we.
Yeah,
but
I care.
don't think you
I'm
can
gonna get my
compare
feet
the
warm.
two.
Yeah,
It's kind of like we're doing apples and oranges.
Yeah, no,
They're both fruit, but
If you
they're
talk
different.
about Obama, who bought his $17 million residence in Martha's Vineyard,
Yeah.
you can see these windmills from there. Nobody wants that
Well, they
kind
haven't
of view.
even installed them.
Well, you know what? To be perfectly honest, I don't care about the people that live in Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard. I think they're going to be fine. I don't care what they have to wake up and see every morning, to be perfectly honest. You know what? If you're a billionaire and you don't like how windmills look, I personally, you know what, my heart bleeds.
I want them.
That's another thing. You've been saying that. A lot of people have been saying that, where they're saying that the windmill blades are not recyclable. Windmill blades are recyclable, like 100%. It's like there's mechanical, thermal, chemical recycling. There's tons of recycling.
That's why he's the debate guy.
I looked it up. And so, I mean, it's metal. It's metal.
And you see, this is the reason that people don't like to talk to you, because as I said before, the information I'm going off is a couple of years old. So what you should, they have new technology where the blades are actually recyclable now. But saying I looked it up to make it seem like somehow I don't look into things, because because that is the implication when you say something like that. It is condescending, and that's why people don't like these type of interviews.
So you feel like because I looked it up? Yeah. Sorry for fact checking. I'm getting fact checking is not. We're having normal conversations, and then I started fact checking. So everyone's done with me. Yeah, I love it.
He can't check it. In this country, America should be always number one.
Okay.
Nothing else. So
should we tax billionaires?
No. You want to ask me a question?
I'm asking you. Do you think we should tax billionaires? Give them less taxes?
They're already taxed. Do you understand what would happen if a billionaire turned around and said, "I'm not going to buy that $300 million yacht"? Do you understand what happened? Everybody on that yacht would not have a job. Do you understand that? Do you understand if a billionaire...
So for America to work, they have to buy a $300 million yacht?
I'm not done with my answer.
So America is a $300 billion yacht?
$300 million. Do you know what would happen to this country if a billionaire stopped donating to the hospitals? Do you know what would happen? This fucker would shut down. Do you understand that it takes a billionaire to incorporate a corporation to give you a job?
The middle class, the working class.
Without a billionaire, there is no middle class. There's nothing. Go back in history and look at the billionaires, and they are what developed this country. If you don't want to live in a developmental country, go south, go east, go west. This is the baddest bitch that works in the world.
Because of billionaires?
Because of capitalism. Without a billionaire, middle class doesn't exist, period. You're right.
The middle class is almost going to be extinct because of billionaires.
No, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong.
The middle class...
So you want me to tell you why the middle class isn't going to exist?
The billionaires
This country gives money away to a country like, I don't know, Syria, to fucking... all these other countries. We shouldn't be giving any money away. Why should we give money away?
We should stop giving money to Israel.
No, you're wrong.
Yeah, no, we should stop giving money to Israel. You're right.
You know what would happen if we stopped giving money to them? They'd be desecrated.
They'd kill
No. You know what Palestinians are? Palestinians are the ghetto. The ghetto.
So this guy is advocating for more billionaires and more money to Israel. That's what's making this country. What?
Guess what?
The working class.
Your problem, not mine.
Are you with him?
What I'm telling you is,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm pro working class.
Me too. I mean,
okay, we were talking about billionaires and paying taxes, and he says that they are the backbone of this country. I think the working class and the middle class is the backbone of this country.
they are. Someone who works hard to be rewarded for their efforts.
Because the CEO work 550 times more than their employees.
They've worked very hard to get to where they are.
Are you a member of the middle class?
Upper middle class.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think the members of the middle...
I didn't start there.
I didn't start there either.
I worked my way there.
Yes. The middle class should be bolstered over the billionaire class.
Yeah.
But thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
What you're fucking voting for is socialism. And you know something?
What's wrong with socialism?
Everything. Everything. You want to know what's the problem with socialism? No, let me tell you something. Don't tell me libraries and roads are fucking social. Don't tell me that. That's bullshit. Venezuela. You want socialism?
Define socialism.
Venezuela.
Define socialism.
Venezuela.
Every time someone goes to define socialism, they always define capitalism.
Socialism. It was Facebook when they fucking turned around and censored me and every other motherfucker that spoke up.
That's capitalism. Yeah, that's capitalism.
You're fucking wrong. That's not capitalism.
That's you just described capitalism.
You're wrong. You're right. It is socialism.
I asked him, give me an example for socialism, and he talks about Facebook. What is happening? And he's like, the billionaires are the backbone of this country, and they should be able, if they can't buy a $300 million yacht, we're all doomed. Oh my God. And he asked to be on camera. We were literally having a private conversation. He comes up and he's like, I want to be on camera. And I'm like, okay, here's your chance on camera. I love it. It's a wrap.
And bro, the only reason we have those jobs is because they're making profit so they can keep expanding.
That's true.
If they weren't making profit, we'd literally have no jobs.
So here's the problem with that. So you're conflating it with like a normal sized business. When the big businesses when the McDonald's is and the Microsofts and the Amazons, when they get tax breaks, they do stock buybacks. Are you familiar with stock buybacks?
Yes. Yeah.
It's when a company buys its own stock. Yeah. So instead of United Airlines buying new planes, they buy their own stock.
Yeah.
So you have old planes and they have their own stock. When was America great?
Oh.
You say, when was it great?
We'd have to sit down and study that, wouldn't we, in history?
I think America was really great when we taxed millionaires and billionaires at like 90%.
I can tell you're a Democrat, aren't you, sir?
Why? Because I don't like billionaires?
No. Do you know how many millionaires and billionaires there are in America?
How many?
There's not enough to support all of us, sir. We, the people, are the mid-Americans.
The middle class spends 110% of their income. When you make policies and give them money, it goes back into the economy. When you give the billionaires more money, they don't put it into the economy. They just they save it.
Well, let me ask you this. Who are these people that are millionaires and billionaires? Are they entrepreneurs?
Are they entrepreneurs?
And are they hiring people? Guess what?
No, but
the wealth goes back to paying the wages of the people.
Guess what? In 2018, when the billionaires and corporations got huge tax cuts, that money did not go to hiring more people. It went to stock buybacks. Microsoft did not use that money to hire more people. They used it for stock buybacks. Sir, are you aware? Do you know what stock buybacks are?
Well, let me ask you this.
No, seriously. This isn't a gotcha. Do you know what stock buybacks are?
You have an agenda and you keep talking about, can I talk?
Yes, I'm asking you a question.
Well, yes. Okay. So entrepreneurs hire people. I'm not concerned about stock whatever that.
It has been proven over the years, when you lower the capital gains for businesses, it actually increases revenue because
for a business,
for a business and for individuals.
In 2018, when there was the corporate tax cut, all of those big corporations just bought their own stock. That's where all the money went. Stock buybacks went through the roof.
I think that,
but it also generated the highest number of real jobs.
It did not. They did not put that into jobs. The middle class, the working class, spends 110% of their income. So if you give a tax cut to the middle class, I agree with you in that sense.
Which is what he did.
To the top dogs, they don't put that back in the economy. If you have $1 billion and you get another $1 million, you're just saving it. You're just banking it. It's not going anywhere near the economy.
That's a nice theory, but they also expand their businesses, creating more jobs.
But you're thinking in terms of a small business or a medium size.
Most of the businesses in the country are small business. We run on small businesses.
Yes.
And I just want to say,
small businesses should be subsidized and given tax breaks. Big corporate businesses, big VC firms, hedge funds, your big Microsoft. They did not put it back into the economy. They did not hire more people. It didn't result in more jobs.
No, because a lot of them in the last 4 years went overseas. So not only did we lose the jobs,
yes,
we lost the income.
Not even the last 6 years. You're making a good point.
So there's like a couple things here, right? I mean, first of all, you got to ask, and if you ask the average American, they will absolutely tell you they are struggling day to day because of the hidden taxes.
So should we raise the minimum wage?
No, absolutely not.
So then that gets into the issue of qualified immunity.
Okay.
So do you think the police should have qualified immunity? Trump wants to give the police more qualified immunity.
Any issue where force is applied by the police is always going to be reviewed by internal audits in the department. And so, and I know that sounds crazy, but look, we got beat up by the police in New Jersey for driving in the left lane on the highway. Yeah. And this guy was in a hurry and he had to go somewhere. You know who caught him? His partner turned him into IA, and IA came and found us in Nebraska. I live in Nebraska, and they came and found us in Nebraska, and then IA ran the checks and balances necessary to pull those bad cops off the force. So IA does work.
That's an example of police working the right way.
Yeah, that's right.
But,
that's what we don't give enough credit
work
to our
like that
institutions.
where
But when people are involved, it does, brother. It works like that when people get involved.
I wish it was like that everywhere.
Trump has revitalized the American people to take responsibility, to take the initiative, to protect the country that we all know and love.
We got to talk about this. So you were in the left lane. You're driving in New Jersey in the left lane.
Right.
The cop pulled you over and they beat you up.
They pulled us over. The guy that was driving, he started arguing with him. He put him in cuffs, and once he was in cuffs, he started hitting him. The other cop drew his weapon on me, and he asked me to kneel and cross my ankles, interlock my fingers. He was just controlling the situation.
Both of you were lucky to be alive.
Right.
You were lucky to walk out of there alive.
But we complied with the officers, how we got out of there. So
I don't think you had a choice. You had a gun in your face and you were handcuffed.
Right, but have you ever watched body cam footage?
Yeah.
Have you seen how people antagonize the police?
I've seen body cam footage where someone was in full compliance and they still were shot in the head.
Something tells me y'all are watching two different body cam footage.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of body cam footage. I've seen ones where they were complying and not complying, and the result was exactly the same.
I seen a girl call for her vape like 50, 60 times.
You got beat up. I'm not going to defend the police in this scenario. I don't know why you're defending them right now.
Nah, I'm defending the institutions that worked the way they were supposed to and corrected the problem. And I'm just saying that had we tried to correct it on the spot and said, you're wrong, I know my rights, and this and that, we could have gotten killed. You're very right. Because I was just explaining what the forum was about that we held, brother.
So you went through the proper channels, and that person was kicked off the police force.
That was held accountable, and that's what the point that I was making.
So do you think that model and that level of accountability should be national?
Yes, sir.
Do you think there should be laws that enforce that level of accountability?
No, I don't think it should be at a national level, but I think it should be nationally from the ground up, grassroots level. The sheriff is an elected official.
It's one thing you have as president, you have the bully pulpit. Would you like Trump to enforce that from the ground up as he let the states decide national level? Because I don't think he's enforcing that at all. I think his message is the opposite, is we need to give the police more executive power in those
here was
situations.
the overall message of our event that we held, was that the reason that the police have to step in and enforce hard lines with the communities and with the people, the citizenry, is because we're abdicating the responsibility of the leadership from the church and the family. There's three forms of authority in America. There's that going to be the church, the family, and civil governance. So it's like, okay, we got strong families, we got parents that teach their kids the right way to live, the right principles. They go out, they contribute to society, they respect other people's boundaries and rights and everything like that. We don't need the law enforcement to step in and tell you stop doing that, you guys split up, let me separate y'all and talk to him and talk to her and all that.